So today I am filming a video on something that you guys know that I love to talk about, all about sororities and rush and recruitment and probably the worst week of your life. So basically, you guys, that is just not okay. There's just food back there. You guys really wanted to hear me talk about my rush experience and my rush advice, since now I'm a sophomore and I'll be recruiting this year, not going through recruitment. So you guys wanted to hear kind of my advice, how I picked the house I did, how to go through recruitment in the best way, how to find your forever home. Bam. I'm a really big believer in trust the process, and you're going to find your forever home. So you're going to hear a lot of cliches in this video, but I'm sorry, there's a lot of good advice. I got input from all of my sorority sisters, and now let's get into it. This video is also a collab with my friend Chloe, who is going to be rushing at my school this year, and she's going to show you guys all the outfits she's wearing for recruitment this year, and they are all literally so cute. So I will link that down below. Definitely think you should watch it. She had a lot of really great tips and a lot of like really cute outfits for recruitment. They're very universal for whatever school you go to, so even if your school like isn't like super die-hard Greek life, like these outfits will still kind of transfer over, and they all are just like really solid, good recruitment outfits. Also, sorry I look like trash. I'm currently in the process of packing because I leave in 4 days. I'm so excited. Okay, so basically I wanted to start off talking about my experience and how my recruitment went. So a year ago, when I was an incoming freshman into the University of Arizona, I decided to go through recruitment. I pretty much grew up knowing I was going to join a sorority. Like, I am literally the definition of typical sorority girl. So recruitment comes around, and every recruitment is different. My school, it's a lot. It's intense. It's a week long. There's 12 chapters. Now this year there's 13 chapters. And we have 3 sets. Set 1 and 2 are 2 days each. Set 3 is 1 day each. And then we have pref. So it's very, very long. A lot of my friends who go to different schools, their rush week was like 3 days long or like a day and a half long. So yeah, my school's really intense, but it's all worth it in the end, and you know. So set 1 is your first initial kind of welcoming into the house. It's kind of just like a welcome day. You're going to talk to houses that you don't have connections with, and you're going to talk to houses that you have really strong connections with, but it's just the first day, and you kind of have to go through like those awkward conversations and like those awkward like house visits to like narrow down to find your forever home. I'm sorry, let's see how many times I can say forever home. That 1 is going to be awkward because a lot of those houses you're not going to connect with and you're not going to visit after set 1. So a lot of it is going to be awkward. My biggest piece of advice is just remember that these girls are normal. These girls are only a year older than you, so like it's nothing to be intimidated by. Like, these girls aren't people that you should be intimidated by. They're just normal girls, and you are just having a normal conversation with them. Just remember that this 19-year-old girl should not be interviewing your 18-year-old self. It should be a flowing conversation. If she asks you like, hey, what's your major? You say business. What about you? A big like red flag to that girl, if you're just letting them interview you, is like, she's not that interesting. She doesn't really care about my life. Like, she's not going to care about any of my sister's lives. So make sure it's a full conversation, and like you're just having normal conversations with these girls. It's going to be awkward. The first house that you go to will be your worst, but I promise you, after you go into your first house and you have like really kind of uncomfortable conversations, it gets so much easier. And like after you walk out of your first house on set 1, like you're like, I got this, it's a piece of cake. Just try to be as comfortable as possible. Everyone is uncomfortable in that situation because essentially you are trying to find a connection with a girl that you met 30 seconds ago. And they, like, the other girl thinks it's kind of like an uncomfortable situation too, because if you think about it, like, it is really uncomfortable. Just try to be as comfortable as possible and just act like this is the most normal thing you've ever done. So for me, I had 12 chapters in set 1, and then for set 2 you narrowed it down to 9. It's pretty good if you get all 9 back. Usually it doesn't happen. I believe I got 6 back, and it's a mutual decision. So you have to pick the house and the house has to pick you. If it's one or the other, like, you're not going to get asked back. Occasionally it does happen where, like, you could try to drop the house but they ask for you back and you didn't have all 9 ask for you back, so one of those is like a filler. So you might end up going to a house that you tried to drop and you didn't have a great conversation with. That happened to me a few times because I didn't get the full 9 houses, so I ended up going to like 2 houses that I was like, I didn't really like. But with that being said, if you get asked back to a house, you need to give them your full respect. A huge thing is you need to respect every house that you walk into, and you need to respect every sister that you talk to. I cannot stress enough how disrespectful it is to really the whole entire sisterhood. If you are walking into a house acting like you're better than them and you know that you're a legacy to this top house and you're probably going to make it, you're probably going to get a bid from them, so like, why are you wasting your time in this house? It's just disrespectful, and we can see that, like, they can see that. So just give every house your full respect. There were a lot of houses that I went to that I would not join because I didn't feel a connection with them and I didn't really like the sisterhood and I just didn't really like the whole chapter in general, and I still gave them my full respect because these girls work really, really hard to put on recruitment for you. Do not go into recruitment with ideas in the back of your head about what each house is based on their Instagram, based on their recruitment video. Those are all good things to like look at and like stalk, but don't stalk too hard. You need to go into recruitment with an open mind. I went into recruitment and the house that I joined, I knew nothing about, but the houses that I researched, and I was like, oh, these girls are really pretty, oh, these girls get a lot of likes. Like, you just don't want to go into recruitment with that mindset. Trust me, there is a process, there is a I can't stress enough, there is a process, and everyone ends up where they belong. If you go into recruitment knowing like, oh, I'm not joining this house, oh, I'm going to join this house because of XYZ, it's going to mess up your whole entire recruitment experience and you will not end up where you belong. I promise you, like, every single chapter, every single sorority has set ideals and values that they want in each girl, and it goes beyond how many likes this girl gets on Instagram and how pretty she is and how many guys she's friends with. It goes deep enough to how is this girl raised, how does this girl treat other people, how does this girl like fare in an awkward, uncomfortable situation, like how is this girl brought up. It goes deep enough to that. So if you go into recruitment being fake and disrespectful and already knowing like kind of what house you want, it's going to ruin your experience. And I promise you, like, if you go into recruitment completely open, completely transparent, and just yourself, you will find your home and you will find your forever home. And I cannot stress that enough. I went through recruitment literally just so transparent. I've never been in that situation where I was so real, and I'm so happy I did it because I easily could have gone into recruitment being so fake and I would have gotten put in the wrong house and I wouldn't have loved my sisterhood. You are spending the rest of college with these girls and the rest of forever. Like, as a sister of this chapter, make sure it's one that you love completely, and like make sure it's not one that you're like, oh, I guess I'll join them. Like, I'll be popular if I join that house or like whatever. Like, it's more than that. Like, these are going to be your best friends, these are going to be your bridesmaids, like, these are your sisters. Like, make sure you love them wholeheartedly. I'm going to talk about this later in the video, but I actually didn't pref 80 Pie, but 80 Pie was a house that I loved from the very beginning. Set 1, they were probably my first house. Set 2, I still loved them, but I started to love other houses. But every time I went to 80 Pie, I just felt comfortable, and I never felt like I had to force anything or be something that I wasn't, and that was like a big thing to me. I didn't know if I said this, but usually you're going to talk to 3 or 4 girls each house you go into. Usually they're not going to be the same girls. If you talk to one girl set 1, you probably won't talk to her set 2, but if you see her walking around and like it's appropriate to say hi, then definitely say hi, because that shows them that like you remember them, you cared, you wanted to be there, yada yada yada. You will not remember anybody's name. You talk to so many people, the faces are going to start to blur, you're not going to remember their names. It's okay if you don't remember their names, like, but if you remember that you talked to them, just say hi. But yeah, you literally talk to so many girls, you just, after set 1, like, you just can't stop smiling, your cheeks hurt, like, it's going to be exhausted. Your feet are going to be killing you by the end of the week or by like the 3rd day. I started to lose my voice by I think the 4th or 5th day. You're just talking so much, it's exhausting, like trying to be happy all the time and like trying to be outgoing, and you're literally exhausted because the day started at 7 a.m. But just keep the best attitude that you can, and that will really help you as well. Something that I felt really helped me going through recruitment is in every single house, I was literally so excited. They were like, oh, so how are you today? I'm like, oh, I'm just happy to be here. Like, I always said like how like excited I am like for the week to go on and see what happens, and I'm just happy to be here, and like I'm so excited to get to experience this. Like, that's really refreshing when a girl is hearing that, rather than like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I'm so hungry, it's so hot out, the big fruit flies keep trying to attack me. Another really big piece of advice is go into Rush knowing what you want. I went into Rush knowing that I wanted to find an actual sisterhood that cared about me and that cared about what I cared about, and I wanted to find people that were genuine and real, and I didn't have to force a conversation with, and that I could talk to them more about shoes and Kylie Jenner. And so I knew going into Rush that those were like the things that I wanted in a sisterhood and in a house. And keep those ideals like in the back of your mind, because it's not only like the sorority picking you for your ideals, like it's you picking the sorority. It has to be a mutual selection for it to work. So definitely like know what you want. You should always feel comfortable in the house. The conversations shouldn't be that forced. Every conversation is going to be some sort of force because like I said, it's such an uncomfortable situation. But you want to pick a house that you feel the most comfortable in and that you really connect with the girls, and like you're not just talking about like, oh yeah, the weather's really hot. Oh yeah, I'm from California, it's not that hot. Oh, did you go to the beach all the time? And you would think it's kind of hard to do that with someone you just met 30 seconds ago, but honestly, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and you will fall into a really good conversation and you'll just feel something. And every girl that, like every one of my sisters that I talked to, like they had an epiphany. They had a moment where they felt something, and like trust your gut. Like if you're in a house and you just feel something, like it's probably a good feeling. Trust those feelings that you're getting in each houses and trust your gut, and I promise you, you will get a feeling when you know like this is where you're supposed to be. And once you get that feeling, like you can't go back. I had that feeling when I was in the pref ceremony at 80 Pi. I just had like this overwhelming sense of like, these are my people, these are where I need to be, and I started crying. And if you go through recruitment without crying, literally props to you. I cried a lot. I cried when I got dropped, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, and I cried with the girl who prefed me in 80 Pi, and like it was just such a surreal moment for me that like I knew that I wanted every girl in that room to be my sister, and like I wanted them to be mine forever. So as I mentioned previously, dropping does happen and it can be really sad. I was dropped by a sorority that I really fell in love with and that I was a legacy for. So another thing, like if you are a legacy, which means like your mom or your aunt or your sister or your grandma was in that sorority, it doesn't always matter. Sometimes it can help you, sometimes it really doesn't matter. I was a legacy to a sorority and I absolutely fell in love with it. I like wanted to be it so bad, and they dropped me, and it literally was so heartbreaking. I was so shook because I was so confident that like I was getting it, and when it happened I was literally like, wait, what? And like I literally just cried. And for a while I like really, like I said, I didn't pref 80 Pi, I pref 2 other houses, and when I went back, like they dropped me, and then I had these 2 houses that I had to go to on pref day, and I was like, I didn't pref these houses. I am really happy that 80 Pi was one of my pref houses because like I said before, I liked 80 Pi all the way through, and I was really torn between the 2 houses that I prefed and 80 Pi. So I mean, I'm like so grateful that like 80 Pi still asked for me back, and I like went, and I knew like after I went through the pref ceremony 80 Pi, like I knew that's what I wanted to be. And like for a while I was like, did I make the right decision? Like what am I doing? Do I like 80 Pi? And like just stick it out. Like it will totally become a part of you, and like you become part of it, and then it becomes a part of you. Now I just want to talk about some conversation points that I would bring up, and then like pretty much this video is done. I hope that advice like was sufficient enough. I really poured my whole heart out to you guys, but I want to talk about like some talking points that are definitely like always a good go-to to talk about, and that I talked about a lot going through recruitment. So the first thing is like always just be bubbly, always be excited, show each house respect, every house you walk into, just be excited, be bubbly, because that shows the girls a lot. Also just some like little things that I kind of like threw into the conversation is I talked about like officer positions. So going into Greek life, I knew that I wanted to like be more than just like an active member. I knew I wanted to hold an officer position, which now I do. I'm just kidding. But I knew I wanted to like do more, and I wanted to not only like grow myself and help myself grow as an individual and like become a more well-rounded person, but I wanted to help the chapter as a whole become better and become more well-rounded. And I wanted to like put in all of my effort and time and energy into making not only myself better, but my sisterhood as a whole. So that is really good to talk about if you want to hold an officer position. I really liked like helping new members out and like helping new members become full active members of a sorority, and that's what my position is. So like I knew going into that like I really like that. So if you like finance, if you like planning events, if you like running things, like tell them that like that's your passion and that's what you really want to do, and you would love to do that for the sisterhood, and you would love to make it better, and you would love to grow it as a whole. If your school does have Greek housing, which a lot don't, but if your school does have Greek housing, it's nice to be like, oh, like, so do you live in the house? And like if they're like, oh, would you, like almost every house will ask you like, oh, are you interested in living in the house? Like the answer is always yes, because that shows those girls that like you are looking to be in a sorority and be an active, involved, well-rounded member. You're not there for the friends and to like pay your dues, go to chapter once a week, and that's it. Like you are there to be there, and you are there and you are going to make it the best 4 years of your life, and you are going to literally get all you can out of it. And that's what they want. Like they want girls who are going to squeeze every single drop of sisterhood out of that sorority and saying like, oh, I want to hold an officer position, oh, I want to live in, oh, I can't wait for this, oh my gosh, Big Little Reveal looks so fun. Like show you're interested, and they will love that. I promise you guys, like if you're going through recruitment, I'm going to tell you don't be nervous, but I know you're going to be nervous, and it's okay. Nerves are totally fine. Like this is a big decision that you're making, and a lot of people like will just brush it off. And I remember like going to college and I was like, oh, I'm joining a sorority. Like all my friends back home were like, you're just going to party all the time. But it's so much more, and I think that if you are rushing, like you know that it's so much more than partying and meeting boys and paying for your best friends. Like it's so much more, and it's such an amazing thing, and it's such an Greek life is such an amazing organization as a whole, and like you do so much other than like pay for your friends. So if you're on the fence about rushing, I definitely just recommend going through. Just because you rush doesn't mean you have to pledge a house, and just because you rush doesn't mean you have to accept a bid. You can always accept a bid and drop a couple days later if it's just not for you, but I definitely recommend going through it, because who knows. I think my best friend from back home always said like sororities just weren't really for her, and she just wasn't really a sorority girl type, and now she is in Kappa Alpha Theta and she literally loves it with her entire heart. I promise you guys, like you're gonna find where you belong, and you're gonna be so happy, and I'm so excited for all of you guys going through recruitment. And like if you have any questions, let me know, and I'm just wishing you guys all the best of luck. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses. You guys are gonna do great, and just I'm so excited for you guys. Okay, I need to like literally end this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out Chloe's video down below. Other than that, I will see you in my next video next Tuesday. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.